What's up, dude?
Much. Yeah, it's amazing.
How you doing?
CrossFit Games 2019, baby. Hunger Games.
Oh my God! All right, so here we are on the front porch with the fam.
That's right.
On Saturday night.
That's right.
I think you know what
Moving day.
I said that we should in the future start a new after party on Saturday night and call it First Cut.
Oh, literally, I had the trash talk group with Brent and Lucas and Travis and Jason Carroll. So we have Jason and Lucas and Brent who are all individuals who've all been cut, and myself as well. I messaged that group today and I was like, hey, you guys want to come have an elimination party? Like, let's do it.
Yes.
So yeah, we might actually start that.
Let's get ready.
Thoughts? I know that's broad, but I know you were unhappy.
Yeah,
and I get that.
Yeah, I mean,
is it because of rule stuff? Is it because of competition changes, or you know what's going on?
All the big wigs are here now.
How are you, sir?
Are you
Good. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Hey, Marty.
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
I think to a certain degree you've got to grin and bear it. Like it's a new change, right? Like it's a new format, and if this is what we're gonna stick with, we've got to get used to what this means, right? I think there's a lot of frustration overall, just in the sense that to a certain degree the order of events really dictates who advances, right? You know, if you get your strength programmed right before a cut, you make the cut. If you get a weakness program right before the cut, you don't. And in the past, when you did every event, you know, you continue to advance and you get to do all the tests regardless. And you know, at the end, everything shakes out the way it's going to shake out. But now, you may not get a chance to touch the things that you're good at because you didn't pass the earlier tests. Sure. So there's like, you know, everybody feels like, yeah, well, you know, there was a little bias here or there, and you know, I got a tough shake here or there, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, could I have been better at all the stuff that I did this weekend? Yeah, I could have, for sure. So
that's one side of it.
Yeah, like, should I have been better? Probably. Like, should I have been in a position at the last event that I had my back against the wall? Like, probably not. But on the flip side, I look at it like, you know, was a Saturday morning cut to top 10 aggressive and premature? In my opinion, it kind of was.
Yeah.
I think I think in a best case scenario, we kept the top 20 for this whole day, and you might have had a more balanced top 10 and then cut to 10 for tomorrow.
Sure.
But you know, I don't know. I don't make the rules, right?
Yeah,
so,
no, and it's all hypothetical, but that's why it's interesting.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Because our first year, and we're kind of poking around. And yeah, having said that, so the difficult question is, but everybody's having the conversation is, are these top 10 that are the top 10 the right top 10? If we're talking about a test of fitness, and no, I don't want to. We're not trying.
Yeah.
to
So the reality is, like, they earned their way into that top 10, right? So they beat me at the test, right? Like they passed the test that got them there. So I mean, you can't argue with it from that perspective. But the argument that everybody will give is that, let's say you took the two events from Friday, the two evening events of Friday, and you change them for the two evening events of Saturday. What does the top 10 look like now? Exactly. It's completely different.
Composition is different.
So the order of events, if we had a swim event on Friday, does Vikowski get cut after top 20? No way. Right? So it's just like, that's where people go, oh wow, you know, I feel like people feel a loss because they want to watch certain athletes, right? And I feel like having depth in the field is something that makes it interesting. It's cool when you have, you know, everybody there has something to offer, and you get somebody from a heat 1 of 4 heats can put up a time that wins.
Yes.
In something that's right in their wheelhouse. You know, we see that every year, times that win out of bottom heats. But now when you're down to just 10 guys, it's like you watch. I mean that workout this afternoon, Saturday afternoon's workout with the split snatch and stuff like that. I mean, there was 4 guys running that race, 3 guys running that race, and then the rest of them were in a totally different race. So you would have more dramatic finishes with a deeper field, and that's just the reality. So I think that they maybe could have kept more athletes longer. So I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from the guys that are in. Like they earned it. They did well at the test. They passed the test they were given, but. I think that the question is always going to be there. People are going to ask it. But.
Well, and I mean, listen, you would think also that because then there's a math problem too, which is the new scoring system. And the first year of anything is probably a learning year. But I had heard before the clean, and I actually don't even know where Noah finished on the clean, but the stat was that he could finish second in every event from here on out and still win.
So if after the cut, if Matt finished first and Noah finished second in every event till the end, Noah would still have won.
Yeah.
But I think Noah finished 5th in the clean and Matt finished 1st. So Matt made up 60 points tonight, and so he's probably only less than 10 points behind Noah. So they're one event placing separate because it's a 10-point drop. But yeah, that is the case. So the problem is if you don't have depth, because you've had, say, you've had a skewed test somehow to the elimination to 10, if you don't have the depth in the field going into that last 5 events in the top 10, you end up with, nobody who can middle people. So you end up with 1 and 2 people who are always going to finish 1 and 2. Yes. And then nobody ever makes up points.
You can't make movement.
Exactly. Yep. So that's a challenge for sure. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what the solution is. It's not my.
And we're not trying to solve it. We're not trying to solve it, but let's digest it. And for you as an athlete, then, or maybe like I said, maybe you don't even know yet because we're so freaking close to the flame still. But what does it affect for the coming year for you, either motivation-wise or tactically?
Not a lot, honestly. I don't think that the sanctional season will emulate the CrossFit Games. I think that what happened this weekend with the CrossFit Games is going to be a standalone. I think there will be very few events that try to run their event similar to what happened here. So what it means is that this event is going to be an island, and the rest of the season is going to run just like it did last year, just like the games used to run, the regionals used to run, everything like that. So you're going to have whatever everybody's been doing to prepare is going to not change that much. But then coming into the games, maybe now your preparation changes slightly. Realistically, like looking at what the games is this year, it was main site. Everybody looked at main site for a year and went, what the hell is going on? This is a joke. Main site's ridiculous now. I'm not going to do this. And then the CrossFit Games was CrossFit.com. It totally was, and we all had fair warning, and it was a total slap in the face. It was like, yeah, it's running, and it was all pulling, and it was all overhead, and it was all like lightweight gymnastics. There was no heavy weights, and that was it. And like, if you wanted to make the cut, if you did CrossFit.com for a whole year, you'd have made the cut to top 10.
Yeah, interesting.
Like that's what it was, and I looked at that, and I was like, yeah, wow. Everybody looked at it, and they shook their heads for an entire year, and then there it was. So.
When did you come up with that? When did you formulate that?
Oh, like yesterday.
Oh, really? You were just
I was like, this is 100%. Greg Glassman has programmed this entire games, and we're all now going to see a heavy barbell for the whole thing. So anyway, like I said, it doesn't matter at time. Like I think that the problem with this is that it sort of changes the drama. Like there's no room for the comeback story. There's no room for those sorts of things. I mean, you look at something like Katrin barely scraped into the top 10. And then now that they did a mixed modality CrossFit workout, she takes 2nd to Tia, she jumps to 5th. You give her another, like, she's probably at the end of the clean, I didn't check where she was, but I bet you she's in the top 3 again.
Yeah, she has to be.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as we started doing like what we mostly expected to see, and like mixed modalities, like we had out of 6 events to cut us to top 10, 2 of them were just running exclusively. So like, as soon as we started doing multiple things and like those same people rise to the top again, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, Tia was still in 1st, mind you. Like it doesn't mean that the test is awful. The test is still good.
Yeah.
But I think that it doesn't leave room for that comeback where people can say, now that you're in the top 10, you have a free pass for the next 5 events. Like,
right.
You can totally mail it in, and you can just you can back off.
It's the old regionals.
The old games used to be a bit of a durability test to a certain degree as well, where at the end of the games, like that Sunday, Rich Froning wins the games on Sunday every year. Like it wasn't, he'd have been eliminated this year.
Right.
Right? Like it's just
he
like
never started strong.
People lose that. Like you don't get that comeback story. You don't get that like, okay, now everybody else is getting tired and I can start to make up points.
Yes.
Because if you didn't come out hot out the gates and like light a fire really fast, like you're better to burn bright and burn out and get in that top 10 than you are to like have sustainability and be durable and make it to the end, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of just, it's a different look. It's a different look to the games, and maybe we now need to plan for that. You need to be able to say, all right, well, like you got to hit everything as hard as you can, and just like pray that you get the right dice roll coming in, and you prepared for the right events, and you make it into that top 10. Because once you're in the top 10, it's volatile as anything. Like you can make a ton of movement with the right events. But anyway, that's my biggest concern is that there's going to be events in the next couple of days that come up that people will look at it and say, oh, you know, I wish we could have seen Fikowski do that. Like, I wish we could have seen so-and-so do that. Someone's going to win, and everyone's going to be like, there's an asterisk on that because, you know, like, that guy did great. Like, these people did great, but I'm pretty sure that, like, you know, Hugberg would have crushed that, and he's literally right there.
Yeah.
But, like, you just, like, you didn't let him take the floor.
Exactly. Well, and then talking
that's
about...
a challenge. I think it's a challenge from a spectating side. Like, those, if those are the breaks and that's the way the rules are now, like, I can't complain a ton about it. Like, if those are the rules, I didn't make it through, and that's fine. And I'm cool, like, it's over. Like, I'll try to be more ready next year, but... That's what tournament bracket is, right? Like, that's what an elimination tournament bracket's like. So you can be the #1 ranked player in the world, and if you show up and you make a mistake, you're out.
Yes.
And so if that's what this is now, then that's fine. But, like, I think people were a little bit less prepared for that, and fans were not prepared for it. I think that there's a lot of fans left there, you know, with a drink in their hand being like, holy shit, who the hell am I supposed to watch now?
Right.
Because all the people they know are now gone.
Yeah. That's rooting interest. Now, but let me ask you this, and I won't lead you at all, as tempted as I am, because different athletes have given different answers. You're mentioning next year, and we'll change strategy and we'll approach it differently. Would you think you will be as motivated next year for the games, or do you think that your focus will change to? And again, like, some people, their answer was absolutely the games is my Super Bowl, and some people were like, you know, no, maybe the sanctionals carry more weight for me. You follow me?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think that we'll see how this whole thing shakes out at the end of it. It's not over yet. But I think that if you treat the games as just another sanctional, it's a sanctional with a large prize purse and a lot of prestige behind it, and a talented field. So I think that regardless, I'm looking for a challenge anyways. That's why I went to Rogue. That's why I went to Wadapalooza. Like, that's what I'm chasing regardless. So I'm gonna go to challenging events. I'm gonna go to tough events. I consider myself an athlete that has the caliber that I'm gonna go and try to, you know, go hunt with the big guys, right? So I want to go try to win big, and if you lose, it's fine. So in that regard, yeah, like, if you build that into your schedule, it's just another competition, but it may become just that. It may become just another competition, where I treat it as like, all right, well, this is just another big prize purse competition. I don't need to necessarily build my whole year around it. It's more just like, this is another stop on the tour. I'm going to show up, whatever happens, happens. If you get a tough break, it's a tough break, but those are the breaks in sports, and you just kind of move on. So yeah, like, I'm going to continue to try to do it, because I think regardless of how you cut it, the games is still the competition that holds the crown. It holds the prestige that says, like, okay, this is the fittest man and woman on the planet. So I think everybody wants that still. So until such a time as that maybe changes, and it does maybe lower down, if it does, to a level playing field with the rest of the sanctionals, I think that you still have to treat it like that. Like, I'm still going to prepare as well as I can for it. But yeah.
We've been pretty analytical to this point, so I got two more for you. All right. And the first one is, since we have been analyzing, what about feelings? You know, I think people want to know.
No room for
what's it like, man?
Never had one, never want one.
just find yourself in the bottom of a bottle.
I don't know. I talked about this with my girlfriend earlier. Like, it feels weird. Like, it doesn't feel over. Like, there's no. You know, the game's normally, like, it ends and it's like this like, like this door closing, like, you know, you finished it and you got through it, and you got to do all the events, and you get through this big struggle, and you do it with a group, and there's something nice about that, and like, I guess cathartic in a sense, where you, like, finish and, like, it's done. Wow, like, cool, I did that. But you have this kind of vacant feeling now, where you're like, you know, I did half the games. You've got this void, and I was saying to everybody today, like, I had a little bit of trouble with the heat for a couple days there. I was feeling really sick, and, like, today was the best I felt all week. Yeah. And, like, but now I'm out, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, I feel great. I could show up for another fucking 10 events.
Right. But Sam Briggs at 5:30 a.m. is checking in for a half marathon.
Yeah, right, that's right. I heard that. Yeah. But you know, and that, so I feel like you have this kind of vacant feeling, like, you're like, man, shoot, like, that's it. Like, I have a lot more to give, right? And you never got the chance.
Yes.
So whereas every other year at the games, like, when that final finish mat hits, or that final buzzer hits, like, like you're happy, like you're like, part of you is like, happy it's over. You're just like, man, this was a huge challenge. It's a huge accomplishment, and you're just glad it's done. You're like, holy shit, like,
but right now
we
it's just
did
kinda,
it, we made it.
Unfinished.
But now you're just like, that's what it feels
dot.
like. You're like, oh, you're just kind of like, I don't know, like it doesn't feel over.
Yeah.
But it is.
So it's still kind of surreal, basically.
Yeah, it's still just like it feels unfinished for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so moving forward, we're gonna get beyond this, and you're gonna reassess. But at the moment, what do you? How bad do you? We talked about that title and how bad you like to compete. What are your goals for the future? What needs to happen before you kind of stamp or put a big period on the end of your career and leave a legacy?
I don't know.
How much does that title mean to you?
It still means a lot. Like, I think that's still what I want to finish with. I think that it won't feel good to retire without that, especially with what I've accomplished so far. So I'm still gonna shoot to win. Like I'm gonna shoot to kill for the next couple years. But like I said, it feels weird not having the chance to finish it off this year. I think I would have been a threat in this next couple days. Even just seeing what came out on Saturday, like I would have loved to take part in that and start the chase. But I don't know. Every year I have some issues with stumbles here and there, and I obviously need to fix that stuff. So it gives you a lot to think about, and I don't know. And now obviously we've got a whole other set of variables to figure out. So yeah, that's still the goal. I'm still going to try to chase that. I've got at least, as my plan is, I've got another couple years that I can put into it before I feel like I need to move on and adult in a different way. So
don't do it.
I know.
Never grow up.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
Never
right?
grow up.
So we'll see. We'll see how much my partner can tolerate.
Yes, exactly.
we'll talk about that. But yeah, I mean, for me, that's what it is. I mean, it's not everything, but it's a big thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just, it's a big box left unchecked at the end of the day if you can't get there. So, especially having flown so close to the sun,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of how I look at it.
Good, brother. That gives, I'm sure that gives people a lot of inspiration because we all love you.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting me chase you back to
Hey,
your house.
man, no worries. Yeah, of course. Stick around.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.